What up, though? Thanks for joining me for another episode of The Mental Giant. I'm your boy, Jay Ford, your host with the most. Let's make a toast. I ain't above you, I ain't below you, I'm right here beside you. Good coffee, good coffee. Colombiana. I don't do that classic roast. Colombiana. Colombiana. Um, Man, there's so many things that's to be talked about. So many different topics I want to touch on. But I think I'm gonna keep today strictly to like 3 points. The first topic I would like to touch bases on is is just our community, man, our culture. Um, we got Juneteenth coming up, and once again, that's an important day in history. We named Juneteenth after the event that happened in 1865. So it's important to first and foremost be aware and educated on what Juneteenth even means. Now, with that being said, you know, we just had 419 Day last month, roughly about a month ago, right? So, you got a black man in the community who we all have access to, um, throwing his first annual event. So within it being his first annual event, um, down at the UT,
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
down at the Uptown Bar and Grill, 0318, um, throwing his first event, right? And I mean, as an imperfect people, you have to expect imperfect results. Mistakes happen, you know. There can be miscommunication. There can be whatever the case. Anything that could deter or throw off the day, is possible that can happen. Whether that be him doing his first event down at the Uptown Bar and Grill, or whether that be someone who's been doing it for 10, 15 years. Regardless of anything, um, things of all sorts of natures can happen. That's just the reality. So there were some things that I seen on Facebook, on social media, and it just revolves so much around negativity. I didn't really, and although I did see, um, posts and comments, giving flowers, first and foremost, I want to come and publicly give my flowers. Great job. I understand and I understand that it was your first event. And I also understand and understand the purpose behind the event, and I think that's more what we should lean toward is the purpose, being able to shine light on people, on entrepreneurs, on artists, on, uh, positive, influential people, if I may. Like, you giving people opportunity to come showcase their arts, their crafts, in multiple different aspects. We got people in the clothing industry. We got people in the music industry. We got people in the cooking and providing a different foods and drinks and whatever you may. Like, you got all of that. That is a recipe for greatness. That's a recipe for cultural change. That's a recipe for cultural education, like, and cultural history as well. So, the fact that we just lean so much toward and gravitate so much toward negativity is crazy to me, dog. You get on the internet, you see some positive shit, that might have 5, 6 engagements, 0 comments, 12 shares. You see something negative or something forth putting or something, that's really negative, is there to serve no purpose. Those are the viral videos. Those are the ones that everybody want to gravitate to and share their opinion and comment on this and comment on that. Share your opinion about what's going on in the South right now. Share your opinion about that. Share opinion about Mississippi, about Tennessee, about Alabama, about Virginia. Share your opinion about how they redistricting the maps down there in order to maintain Republican seats, for the political campaigns and all of that. About how they doing this in order to basically make sure that the Republicans keep seats in the South. They divided Memphis up into three districts. Three districts. When we look back in history, we go back to the Jim Crow era, right? The black people really didn't have any rights. The black people didn't. They wanted them to still be in bondage. They ain't want them to be out. They ain't want to be integrated with them. They didn't want no parts with them. Actually, they treated our ancestors like dog shit, if we want to be completely honest. That was the whole point of the Civil War. You know what I'm saying? We got the South and we got the North, and they just ain't, because we got the Confederacy going on in the South. We got Jim Crow, we got KKK, we got all these things, these laws that's being passed, to basically keep the black people oppressed. My whole point is what they doing is by manipulating these maps and these seat positions and wanting to maintain control, and I quote, that was verbatim right there, wanting to maintain control of the Republican seat is crazy. Wanting to maintain control over a city that's 62% black is crazy. Where is the people representation at? That's what we need to be putting our energy into. That's what we need to be supporting right there. We need to be supporting our people in the 9th district. Shout out to Justin Pearson. You got my support, man. I hope everybody that been tuned in and that see this, I hope that y'all paying attention to what's going on in the South right now for the black Southerners. I hope that y'all do, and I hope that we able to wake up and kind of get educated on what's going on and how our past and how our history is playing out right in front of us. Jim Crow 2.0 is what they calling it, and shit, quite frankly, it ain't really too far from Jim Crow. So that's what you need to be paying attention to. Furthermore, I see more negative shit for you. I see my guy Pi-Wreckz, man. Shout out to Pi-Wreckz. I see he put it's not a list. Now he clearly stated that in his post. This is not a list. It is not in order. It is not none of what you in your mind portrayed to be. However, it still goes the same way. We got people ready to, man, shut that shit up, dog. First of all, when I see it's 70 plus people doing the same shit, when I see it's 70 plus artists, me as an artist now, I'm going to try to figure out, first of all, what is it that we need to do in order to unionize, organize, and unionize? Now let's get four different LLCs for 4 different businesses: studio, a record company or record label, a videographer station where you got videographers all up under one umbrella, boom, 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 and then DJ, and then you got the DJs all up under one umbrella. Now we all networking, we all keeping. This is how Atlanta, this is how Houston, this is how. Come on, man. This is how places and people and artists that we like. Damn, where dog come from? Yeah, he probably sucked in his city too. They probably say he was whacking in his city too, or whatever the case may be. Or maybe they liked him in the city, whatever the case may be, dog. The point is if we all unionized and got economics flowing together, we got businesses flowing together, where are we about to lose at? What, with our ego? With our emotions? Like, dog, it comes a point of time when you got to ask yourself, what am I doing this for? What's my purpose in this? And once you figure out what that is, and once you really living by what that purpose is, all of that other shit don't matter. A list of names shouldn't have ever mattered. To the point where we drop in our opinions, and that's okay. Everybody entitled to their own opinion, but that's the problem. Sometimes we, once again, put our energy into the most negative, and which wasn't even intended to be something negative. You know, when it come to Pi-Wreckz, first of all, when he said you ought to be honored if you was mentioned and this, that, and that, and third, with all due respect, he ain't capping. The man got ties to people that some of us wish to have ties to. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all something real quick. Beanie Siegel. Due to Pi-Wreckz, I DJ for Beanie Siegel here. I DJ for Beanie Siegel in Cleveland. We went up to Beanie Siegel room.
Pause.
Kicked it. You know, I was back chilling, thinking and shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, we in this room kicking it on the top floor. He brought Beanie to the city. We in the studio together. My cousin sold him a beat. All type, like, come on, man. The man got pulled. The man got, so yeah, let's put some respect, him being an artist, let's put some respect on that. Because he didn't have to mention anybody. But to the people he did mention and he left, and he didn't, but he did mention, but to the people that he did not mention, it's okay, dog. Like 70 people is, like he said, he had to dig for those 70 people. Whole point is we sure know how to turn a positive into a negative. You want to be mad about something. You want to be upset about something. You want to be in competition about something. Let's compete about, let's talk about why the deputy and what was that? Columbus, I want to say. Shot the young black man, 5 times in the back, 1 time on the side. Only get charged with reckless homicide. That was a clear intentional homicide. The boy had some Subway and some keys. Why we ain't, I mean, come on, why we not discussing what we need to do within our confines to be able to change that perspective, that objective, that narrative of we can just say that we're scared and we were under fear. And first and foremost, the badge makes you feel inevitable. That alone. So you can't sit here and convince me that once you got that gun on the side of your hip, that you don't feel even 10 times more inevitable. That's number one. Number two, there is no way in heaven nor hell that I'm going to wake up and go to a job that I absolutely fear every single day, knowing that it's a chance that my fear will one day get the best of me, whether that person, that other party is innocent or not. We got to stop using this, I fear for my life. We got to stop allowing them to use this, I fear for my life, because once we understand the laws and how certain things work, especially when it comes down to our policing, when it comes down to our judicial systems, when it comes down to all that there is that's above us, we need to understand how all of that works. We also need to understand, once again, how we work, what our purpose is, what am I here to do? What impact am I going to make on somebody's life today? Or what impact am I going to make on my life today? Like, dog, yo. So, moving forward from that, and even with the Derry Glenn situation, but then yet here once again we have a white man, fire chief, suspended. He's racist. But I'm just based on, I mean, a white man saying the N-word. And then that ain't even it. You got multiple charges. This is your second time. And so, yeah. And then they get under the situation with Derry Glenn, and they show even furthermore how racist they are, and how racism still exists very heavily right here among us today. If it don't apply, let it fly. But the reality of it is if you're offended, then you probably know that that's true. So once again, while we all ready to go grab a bottle, go hit the bar, go hit the club, go turn up, while we be so ready we need to be hip to, up on, educated on, however you want to dialogue it. We need to be knowing what's going on with these changes in these laws, these bills, and that come down to the school systems, all of that. The things, the shifts in the world, and then we wonder why gas so high. Do your research. You gonna figure it out if you do your research. We wonder why food's so high. The cost of living period is just high. You got to understand what's going on in this world today. What's been going on. But we have so much access to this information right now today. We need to be focused on that. And that's not to say, you can't have fun and all that. Just be aware of what's going on. Be up on the intake. So I got some things in my notes that I feel like we should basically be doing. And I got them into boom. So supporting Black-owned businesses consistently. Not just during holidays, not just on the weekends when we need an outfit to go step to the bar. Consistently. More financial literacy. That's credit, investing, taxes, insurance, home ownership. If you have the expertiseisms in these fields, then we need to be each one and teach one. And I just made my own shit up. Each one and teach one. And we need to be passing that information forth. We need to be making sure other people, if we know people trying to get into that, or just to encourage people, or doing what I'm doing right now and being on a social media platform, spreading awareness, spreading the information that needs to be spread, however you may. community circulating money locally together. I kind of already spoke on that. We need to be in unity. We need to be spending money with each other. And at the same time, on the flip side of that coin, business owners, we need to be being great business owners. We need to be treating our counterparts with the utmost respect. We need to be treating them the way we would want to be treated when we're supporting their business. That's what needs to be done, because we all know it's been some shit and it'd be like, man, I don't really want to I don't want to work with that person no more. Or I don't want to, we move past that. However, we need to, you know what I mean? It got to be it got to be mutual respect. It got to be, and don't treat nobody better than you treat me. We in a union together. You feel me? So yeah, we need more trade skills and entrepreneurship programs for teens and young adults. I just feel like, why not? Why not? It's enough bad influences out here as it is, from the music to the music videos to the Facebook, social media, period. All of that. Like, it's already enough negative out here. There's so much positive out here. Dog, let's start spreading. If you know how to weld, teach a young brother how to weld. Matter of fact, I got an idea. We all can get together. Everybody who knows something, every father, every black man, every white man, whoever it is, whoever want to be involved for real, all get together, and everybody who got a different skill, boom, we gonna have like canopies posted up. Everybody with a different skill, guys, different boosts for different skills, and just take the kids through all the different boosts and shit. Like, come on, man, it's. And once again, we got to be willing to work with each other, man. Teaching people how to leverage LLCs, real estate, and multiple income streams. Very important. Once again, each one, teach one. We need more mentorship programs for young boys and girls. Shout out to Chris Jackson with the Boys and Girls Club, Bradfield Center. Get your kids involved, man. Like, get them involved. We need more active fathers and male role models.
What?
Models is crazy. Models is crazy, dog. We need more active fathers and more male role models. We need neighborhood accountability. Parents, we should all have a good understanding of, hey, I look out for your kid, you look out for my kid. If you see my kid out of line, please let me know. Please let him know that you're letting me know, or whatever, however that may go. And it should be the same thing, vice versa. Once again, that's holding each other accountable. It takes a community, dog. We need to be teaching life skills, budgeting, contracts, communication, entrepreneurship, and mental health awareness is probably the most important out of all of that to me. Mental health awareness is so important. We need to be able to have vulnerable conversations without feeling judged by your counterpart, by whoever you confiding in. We need to get in communion with each other, man. We need more STEM exposure, science, technology, all of that type of stuff. Right now, we ought to really all be on that, because it's really a shift in the change. It's like a shift in the culture, if you will. It's a shift in the technology world. Yeah, we need to all really be, in some way, shape, or form, be educated on what's going on as far as how the technology is changing and how that's going to affect us in the upcoming years. For the kids, once again, reading programs early. Reading levels affect almost everything later on in life. We need better access to therapy and mental health conversations without stigma. I already touched on that. Health education around food, stress, sleep, and preventative care. We need to be addressing trauma that gets passed down generation to generation. Once again, that's another key one for me, because there's so much trauma that's been passed down from generation to generation. And it shows up in our everyday lives, dog. We don't even be realizing it, because we just so stuck in, this is how we are. We're stuck in our ways. We got to get out of that. We have to be able to unlearn some things so we can learn some new things and apply it to our life. Period. Woo! Some good coffee right there. We need to be understanding how social media and entertainment can shape behavior, priorities, and self-image. I'm gonna tell you something. I see it every day when I get on social media. It's sad, bro. And that go back to what I was talking about with the engagement of negativism. That goes back to the music, the movies, the things that we consume and just on a daily basis. It becomes normal to us. It becomes things that we're attracted to. That's how you got like when you be thinking about something or something, then you get on your phone and it pop up. That's how you got that algorithm. We need to be promoting more examples of builders, thinkers, business owners, teachers, and creators. Not just athletes, not just entertainers. We need to know that local politics matter just as much as presidential campaigns. That go for school boards, city council, judges, sheriffs, trustees. Excuse me. Those decisions directly affect neighborhoods. And we need more people to understand laws, policies, and voting power. We need more conflict resolution and intervention programs. We need to be giving young people opportunities before streets become their only form of identity or their only source of income. We need to be on that, dog. Black communities don't all think the same politically, culturally, religiously, and that's cool, right? Stronger systems, they help support your networking, your sharing opportunities, your collaboration instead of competing, your celebration without the resentment. You know, ask yourself, like, what would happen if Black communities focused on ownership, discipline, mental health, economics, and unity? Ask yourself that. Let me repeat them. Ask yourself what would happen if the Black community focused on ownership, discipline, mental health, economics, and unity. Ask yourself that. Drop your comment, drop your answer in the comment section. I was finna say drop your comment in the comment section. Right. But yeah, drop your answer in the comment section. And yeah, dog, you know, we gotta start forming a better way of maneuvering with each other, of being able to work with each other, being able to support each other. You know, we're gonna have ups and downs. We gonna have people that's willing to hold each other accountable for things, and that's all cool. That's all fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, once again, we need to be realizing, we need to be understanding, we need to be exploring our purpose. We need to be understanding our purpose. We need to be overstanding our purpose. What you doing and why you doing it. Let's talk about it. J4, man. It's the mental giant.